Is that okay?
Say again?
I just said I need to record it.
Record it.
Yeah, record the session.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
So does anybody know what the word eternity means, or does anybody want to guess? Another example from the story, if not, I bring you an eternity of warmth and best wishes from the wonderful director of my company.
It means forever.
It means forever. Who said forever?
Tang Tang.
Good job. Good job, Tong Tong. Thank you. Yes, you're right. A time that never ends. Okay, so the next word was miracle. Let's see if I can find it in the story. Then your perfect life will last only one day. Time or happiness. I can only offer one. I don't do miracles. Another company does those. So does anybody know what the word miracle means? Can everybody hear me okay?
I think I know.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think miracle means like something really lucky that happens like only once in a while.
Yeah, that's great. Anybody else want to guess or try to explain what a miracle means? That's very good. Thanks, Ife. So a miracle, Ife is right. Another way of explaining a miracle is an amazing event that people believe happens because of God. So a miracle can't, maybe nowadays, a miracle can be something that we say is because of luck, but it can also be explained because of something supernatural or something that has to do with God. And one more word, this word is not, it's a different kind of word. The word is a banister. In the story, she screamed as he slid down the banister and suddenly appeared in front of her. So the banister has to do with stairs. Does anybody, it's a hard word to explain, but does anybody want to try to guess what banister means? I think it's a kind of a good word to know. The man slides down the banister. So a banister, I'm just going to explain this one. A banister is a long piece of wood at the side of stairs that you can hold on to as you walk down the stairs or walk up the stairs. So in this sense, in this case, the man is using the banister to slide down the stairs, which, yeah, it's not how we would usually use a banister, but it's sort of a funny way of using a banister. Can I get one, can I get a volunteer maybe to use one of these words in a sentence? Eternity, miracle, or banister. Doesn't have to be a perfect sentence, but does anybody want to guess or try to use this, make a sentence? Ife?
It was a miracle that I survived falling off the banister.
Oh, very good. 2 words. That's excellent. Anybody else? Anybody else? If not, it's okay. We can move on. So let's see. There was one more word that I noted, and it's at the very beginning of the story. It's in the first sentence. Someone knocked at her door just as Victoria was about to leave her flat. Flat in this sentence means apartment. And I thought, I don't know what kind of, I'm assuming most of y'all are learning American English, but in British English, and this is kind of complicated, but it's interesting, the word flat can mean apartment. So basically the sentence is saying someone knocked at her door just as Victoria was about to leave her apartment. But anyways, I wrote down a few questions about the story, and I was hoping we could discuss them a little. But first, I was wondering, for those of you that were able to read the story, first, did you like the story? Did you not like the story? Did you think that you understood the story? You don't have to raise your hand. You can just unmute yourself and share whether or not you liked the story.
I think I like the story because it's very important to us for our life. I think time is not important as happiness. Thank you. Thank you.
That was great, Tong Tong. I almost want to ask you a follow-up question. Okay, but I'll ask the group, who do you think the salesman is? Ife?
Okay, so I think, as I remember, I think like the salesman like disappeared near the end of the story, right? So
Right.
he's definitely not human. I think he's probably a ghost or a phantom.
Okay. Oh, that's
But
great.
definitely not human.
Right. He at one point in the story he floats in the air. Anybody else want to guess who the salesman is? I mean, Ife is right on track again.
Perhaps it's the devil.
I think that's probably the most correct identity of the salesman. I think he's probably the devil. And so like Tong Tong was sort of hinting at in her response earlier, I think the question is, what does the devil want from Victoria? So Victoria is, she doesn't make a lot of money. She doesn't exactly love her life. She's maybe a little jealous of her sister. She's all these different things, you know. Maybe she's not unhappy, but she's not satisfied. And so the devil comes, or the ghost or the phantom, this sort of evil presence comes, and the question is, what is he offering? What is he telling Victoria he can give her? Does anybody have an idea as to what the devil is offering Victoria?
Alive.
Her life. Yes, exactly, her life. But in what sense is the devil offering her life? This is maybe I think we only have a few minutes left, but this is maybe my favorite part of the story, because at the end of the story, I'll just read it. Victoria tells the devil, I don't believe any of this. She doesn't believe that he can give her 25 more years of life. She doesn't believe that he can double her happiness. So she says, I don't believe in any of this, or in you. He jumped off the banister and held up something small and white. Your sister didn't believe it either, he said, not until she had her accident. Here's my card if you change your mind. And he disappeared. Victoria was alone on the stairs, her mouth open in shock. So at the end of the story, Victoria is in shock because the devil tells her basically that her sister, who has this, say, perfect life, perfect husband, perfect job, perfect kids, that her sister has these things because she made a deal with the devil. And so, like Judy was saying, the devil is offering Victoria this opportunity to make her life much better, much more wealthy, more love, and more comfort. So we still have a few minutes, but for me, that was my favorite part of the story, because earlier in the story, Victoria tells us basically, or the story tells us, that Victoria is very jealous of her sister, and maybe she still loves her sister, but she wishes she had the things that her sister has. And then at the end of the story, we discover that Victoria's sister has these things because she made the deal with the devil. So the last question is, before we go, and it's a fun question, so don't take it too seriously, but if you were Victoria, or let's say, do you think Victoria will accept the devil's or the man's offer to, say, have 25 more years of life or twice as much happiness in exchange for eternity? Does anybody think that Victoria is going to accept his offer? Especially now that she found out that her sister accepted the offer. And look at her sister's life. Her sister has this great life. So do you think Victoria will accept the offer? That is the question. And there's no right answer. It's just, what do you think?
I think she would.
You think she would? Do you want to explain why you think she would?
Because her sister chose so, and she wants a life like her sister.
Uh-huh. I agree. I think I agree with Chloe. Does anybody else want to share their opinion? It's okay if not.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I feel like she's in a pretty bad situation, and she, like most people, probably want to escape that situation. So she's probably going to make the deal with the devil, even though she knows the consequences of making that deal.
Thanks, Cindy. I think that's 15 minutes, Miss Liu, if you want me to go
Yeah, I
ahead.
think that we still have 10 minutes for meeting with the co-hosts. Thank you very much, Markham. Yeah, our students are mainly from China, and they are good at reading, and this is our first meeting. I think that, with more opportunities and to interacting with each other, they will be more, responding.
Yeah.
And we have a big group here. That's not a problem, but overall, I think it's really good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.